Hey, I'm ready to get into it. I'm ready to get into this broke down, cankled up Hotep brokey. I'm ready to get all into it. I'm ready to get into Michelle. I'm ready to get into the whore of Babylon. I'm ready to get into all these people because even though this was a little bit of a slower episode, it did enough to piss me off and it did enough for us to have plenty to talk about. Baby, I'm biding my time till we find out who the hoe is. Where the hoe's at? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so until we get to that and all of the tea is dropping, but no, it's cute, but it's par for the course. And I think this is what you have to be ready for with a show like mafs that runs for 52 weeks. You have to kind of pace yourself, right? Not literally, y'all. It's not, but it's a lot. It's a lot of episodes, so you have to pace you because you're gonna have to pace yourself. So this was a good paced episode. I feel like it's setting us up because you're going to go through a lot of peaks and valleys. And right now we're on the roller coaster on the way up. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool for what it was, but it wasn't all that. I was thinking, oh, not her being unhoused and acting like money ain't a thing. Girl, be and that wasn't even a full storage unit. Now, I don't know about you, but I have been in transition in my early years and had a storage unit, baby. But when I tell you that 12 by 12 was packed to the brim, and when we went in there and all we saw was dirt in a pot and some sound bowls, I said, girl, what kind of vagabond spirit are you running around Chicago with? Like, let's not perpetrate. Again, y'all know I never liked Carla. I felt like she's a liar. I feel like she's a lie and the truth is not in her. And this is the root cause of why Juan is pissing her off because Juan ain't about to subsidize nothing. Did y'all see his place? Juan ain't got no money either. Listen, this is not what she bargained for. She wanted a boss. She wanted a baller. As much as she said it's not about coins, I don't want to be taken care of, I'm fine, yada, yada, yada. She does. We've known it since day one. And I think this was just prime time. She went into his home. I mean, he has a beautiful view, but baby, he got the whole flea market in there. Because why is there a crane and a scaffolding in your living room holding the TV wand? Like, I don't like it. Looked unkempt. Again, her raggedy, what she say, her raggedy duffel bag in her U-Haul box. She's broke too. Like, I don't believe anything she says at this point. I think she is looking for come up. I think she wanted a man with some coin who was going to dote on her. That's why she turned off all that coy stuff that like that's why she turned it off. It's immature. The amount of times she repeated that, girl. And then you go sit down with the experts and waste your questions talking about this joke about flossing. At least he flossed his teeth. Now, what we're not going to do is act like this man ain't attractive. Let him try to do something for you, sis, before you make all these judgments. If I heard swag, I could go forever now without hearing he don't have swag. He not swaggy. He not swaggadocious. Girl, are you swaggy? Do you have swag? What does this have to do with anything? I'd be worried about the white refrigerator. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about these burners with stuck on grime in the kitchen. I'm worried about the stuff in the dish drain. Like, those are the things I'm questioning, Camille, while you worried about if he got swag, if he gonna pop his collar, if he got a pair of J's. Like, I told y'all this was gonna be her issue because he did give weatherman and news anchor. And I was like, okay, is it gonna be about that or maybe her not feeling comfortable? But no, it's not even that deep. She feels fine to be herself. She just wants him to change. And this is my issue and my ought with the experts because they're going to do this every time. They're going to gaslight people. And I think, sometimes they will come with wisdom. However, they play in these people's faces because they act like they're so invested in these terrible matches that they made. But when they talk to him, well, he'll change for you. He can get some swag. He can do that. Why are you trying to make these people change? Why did you match these people with the intent to change? Why can't we just come together and be ourselves? If Camille wanted a thug, get at heifer a thug, he will never ever be that. Now he might be able to blow her back out. That's what I think she wants. I don't think she thinks he'll choke her out and give it to her right. That's the problem. But I think if she give him a chance, he might turn. She might just learn something. Just learn something. But no, it was very shallow. It gave very immature. And again, she's full grown. She's what, like early mid 30s. Girl, stop it and stop shaming this man. Like she done already made him cry on the honeymoon saying this foolishness. Now she's bringing it back to Chicago. He is who he is. You're either going to accept him and his caucasity, or you need to leave him where you found him, and let's not belabor the point. I can't stand that. It feels like you got a nice little shape. You don't let a clear person even approach any of this stuff. Oh, you have Jordan. You're like, girl, stop it. We are not monolithic. Let that man be who he already has emotional issues. We don't want it in Chicago hood. Listen, that's what she wants, and clearly that hasn't worked for her. So she needs to open her eyes and not miss this blessing. We know Bachelor had anything. I loved what he said in the after show. He's like, men in relationships live differently than single men do. And that's true. He's like, I ain't got to do all this when I'm by myself. I'm cool with it. When a woman enters my space, I'm willing to accommodate her. And I love that. Get a clue and a vision, Camille. That's what I need her to do. Act like you got some sense. Because when they're having this initial conversation with her, and this is during the matchmaking period, so they already have him in mind for her. They go to her and they say, well, what if he lives at home? What if that's the case? But he's ready to move out as soon as he gets married. He's ready to buy a house. He's ready to do all that. And she's like, well, okay, as long as he's not going to be, living there, whatever. Here's the thing. She did have the expectation. Dr. Pia did set that expectation up for her. However, the fact that the experts got in her face and gaslit her about it being acceptable that he's an almost 40-year-old man living in his mama and them basement, I think both things can be true. In my mind, I'm just glad they didn't do this to a black woman again, because they've done this for a couple times over the course of Married at First Sight, matching an upwardly mobile black woman with a man who was living in a basement or in a spare bedroom somewhere, right? But here's the thing. Don't try to justify her and gaslight her into thinking that, oh, he's ready. He's got all this together. He's this man. He can love you. He can take care of you. It's like, nah, sis, just settle. It's fine. He lives in his mama's basement and he don't do his own laundry and he can't pay no bills. That's okay, girl, because we told you we're gonna run the clip back. We're gonna embarrass you and give you this hypothetical, knowing we were finna match you with I'm not gonna call this man a bum. I don't know what he does on his second shift, y'all. I don't. But what I do know is that it is not unreasonable. Women, PSA, men, it is not unreasonable at that big gargantuan age to have an expectation that a person lives independently. There is nothing wrong with you for wanting that. The issue is Michelle's character and her attitude. That's the only thing I've taken out with, right? The dragging it, the berating him, the making him feel small, that's not necessary. You can walk away, sis. You don't have to accept it. It's the fact that the expert sat in her face and we're like, no, but he can love you. He loves his family. Love don't pay the rent. Love don't pay these bills, Bookie. I'm sorry. Like, that's the part that gets me, because both can be true. She did know, but I don't think any woman has to accept that. Find someone who is fine with it. But y'all know who this heifer was. He said, I can offer you love. He said, I can be honest. I can be honest. I can be loyal. I can love you. That's where I'm at. That's what I have to give. Experts were like, yes, he has love. He can love you, girl. But can he? They knew what they were doing. Let me be very clear. If he'd have been fine, and she'd have been attracted to him, oh, baby, she wouldn't be this same person. No, she would care, but she wouldn't be the same person. If he was big, fine, the light-skinned black man she wanted was not him, ma'am. It was not. I'm trying to think of you. Baby, it wasn't this. It wasn't this one. Baby, she'd have been like, here's what we can do. Baby, here's what we can do. Okay. You don't have it right now. Okay. So you're in the basement right now, but you're fine. Right. And we got this sexual chemistry. We're going to make it work. We're going to come up with a 30-day plan. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to do this. I'm going to do this, and we're going to make this thing work. If the D was ding and he was just tall enough, had a little bit of thug in him, a full beard that connect, and didn't look like Grumpy Bear or the genie in the lamp, it wouldn't be this. It wouldn't be all this. I'm telling you. Because did y'all notice when they're on the expert's couch and he's like, well, y'all gave me everything I wanted. You know, she's blonde, white, blue eyes. And she's looking like, no, yeah. I'm saying because that side ponytail is so unserious. I wouldn't take here's the thing about a confident man with a plan. He's gonna come in leading with confidence. David don't do that. Those cultures that you're referring to, these people are not in there twiddling their thumbs. When they're ready to get married, pay their bride price, do all that, they out here buying houses cash, stuff saved, stocks and investments. This man does not. Baby, he might have $2,000 in an account somewhere. This man is not saving. This man he spend as soon as he get it. He said, "Money's to spend. Well, I can't take it with me." That's what he said to Keisha on the after show. I was just gonna say the way after this harlot stayed out all night running the streets of Chicago, you know, like my mama said, ain't nothing open after 2 but legs and liquor stores. That heifer knows how to get home. You mean to tell me, oh, I fell asleep on the couch. I didn't mean to stay out all night. Yeah, you did, because you were up to hoetry ways. You were out here hoeing. Like, let's be very clear. And the fact that even with all that, even though he was alone in that damn hot tub by himself making Instagram reels, he said, I think enough of her to get her some breakfast in the morning, to get her coffee, get a Mr. and Mrs. mug. Like, I'm going to, still. And also, when I get into the experts, I'm not even going to air her out that she didn't come home last night. I'm not going to be the one to say those things because I respect this situation so much and I want it to work. Alan is a king among men to me. His well-appointed home, and that's when you saw the attitude switch. If you go back to Love is Blind UK, you'll see this happens with these raggedy hoes a lot of the time. When they get into the man's home and they say, "Oh, he got something." Look at this kitchen. Did you did this? And he's like, yeah, I do a little something here and there. The attitude changes. Oh, you've been to the gym 4 times in the last 3 days. Okay. He wants this to work. He's doing the work. He's changing all elements of himself. And it pisses me off because like I said before, Alan don't need to change for her. Why is she is not giving him anything so deep that to me would justify him altering his life. Let me put you in my beautiful Jaguar. How they say it? Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? Let me ride you through the streets in my little sports car. Let me dote on you. Let me do all of these things. And there's just no reciprocation for me. This is going to end very badly. I think he's investing 100% and she's given 2% at this point. I'm overseeing her. I'm overseeing her with that side braid ponytail. I'm overseeing them hats. I'm just over seeing her period and the way she's playing in his face. Because then we get to the experts and there's just no attraction. There's no chemistry. You haven't given the opportunity to be any chemistry. You're repulsed when he reaches out his hand. He can't touch your thigh. He can't touch the small of your back. He can't touch your shoulder, ma'am. Like you can't stand to even be alone with him for the first night. The first night? Like, I'm just so disgusted. And again, I feel like all of this constant, like, oh, you don't take care of yourself. I need a man who's going to look like this, do this, be this, I feel like it's messing with his self-esteem. And I think when you give so much and a person's continually tearing you down, it's the recipe for disaster and like an eruption. Man's face in this episode, there is literally nothing wrong with Alan. He is not a porn. He's actually decent looking. I don't get why they're making this a thing. No, let's get down to the broke down cankly hotep. Let's go and get over there because I'm ready. I've been waiting. The way he basically said, "Hey, big money. Okay, big money. How many TVs you got? This show, I could put my whole apartment in this front room. Oh, that's an air fryer. It pulls down. Sir, act like you've been somewhere in your life." And then talking about, oh, my meager accommodations. Okay, you live in the hood. It's an Airbnb because why is there a drop box on the door that says put your keys here? I had to stop it, pause it, and look back. First of all, your front door doesn't even open. What are you doing with the money from the sales of these books, sir? Where is the money going? What is it subsidizing in your one room flat? Okay, like it's just the sheer audacity and the idea that you're out here looking for a unicorn and that is not worthy of your touch, your gaze, your affection, and you're out here living in squalor and degradation. Like there would never be a time, never be a reason, never be a universe where he should even be able to enter into her orbit. As soon as I get a chance to speak with the experts, they get the business, because stop playing on black women's time and in their faces. Because last episode, he sat there and told this group of white people that this beautiful black woman was less than desirable. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't put my Peter Weeder in there. Sir, we'll find a safe place in a well-appointed home to stick it somewhere. Because as of right now, it won't even fit in your apartment probably. It's that small. I am very much aggravated by even the concept, the visuals of all this. I was pissed off because you shouldn't even have her address at this point. And the fact that you said, oh, well, she's just a little rigid, blah, blah. They're asking about, have you talked about the future? No, because he doesn't see a future with her. He's talked about his goals because he's self-centered. He has no desire or wish to even really get to know who is, because I don't think she's his type. Let's call a thing a thing. As deep as Brother to the Night wants to be, right? As deep as Mr. Hotep pretends to be, he's not. He's not. He's not. He's about him. And I'm sick of seeing him. I'm mad we had to see them cankles with his high water tight jeans on. I'm just aggravated. And the way I told y'all he argues with women in comment sections all over the internet, we're going to see it next week. And I can't wait till he's fully exposed. To look like that, that's what you do. I say sleep. I say sleep till 9 a.m. because it's not doing anything for you, sir. That's why I want her cousin to come and cuss him out next week. I want him to get with him so bad. The one who got with him at the reception. Oh yeah, I want him to read him down real bad. He's gonna show us behind, show us who he really is, who he's been this whole time. Exactly, because the way she said that, oh yeah, a lot of the men I date are intimidated when they see where I live. So you always date down. Like, so it's not her hangups, it's literally his and his jealousy. And I said, if you had good sense, like a player from the Himalayas, you would get on this train, baby, because she gonna make you better. I want her to run for the hill from which cometh her health, because he don't even have good sense to be he can't even be smart. That's the thing. Because if he had any vision or forethought, he would say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna love her real good, and I'm gonna be living right here. You hear me? Yeah, this here, this here, but if y'all watch and pay attention very carefully, for whatever reason on these shows, black men, even the elders, he did it on Later Daters, they try to find whatever stereotypical thing they can say to degrade a black woman. On Later Daters, he was like, oh, you're ghetto, right? Like you a little hood, you're ghetto. And now you call an aggressive who has not been anything of the sort. Like, why are y'all doing that? Why are y'all doing that to black women on national television? Why are black men doing that to black women on national television? Why? She's giving docile, submissive, like, baby, what can I do for you? That's all she's getting, my husband. Yeah, it's a horror Babylon and David. I'm 99.8% sure that it's the two of them. And there is a clip like, oh, you've been hanging out with my friend or whatever. You hear that too at some point as a preview. Yeah. And then later, if you watch the whole season trailer that they gave, like in the first episode, you see Alan burning the marriage certificate, breaking the cups, the Mr. and Mrs. cups. Like, yeah, that's what I think. Well, no, baby, because that was the whole scandal of the season. That this is the first time this has ever happened where two people from the season hook up. I mean, they leave their marriage vow, they break their vows and have an adulterous affair.